a lot of minerals, like almost around like 400 minerals, something like that. That's that he set Ratan back. So now Ratan has to replace those probes, and really, Ratan not really doing a good job in getting good probe saturation. I know he just lost quite a bit of probes, and here comes AeriALs now doing his 100-man march. So what a Terran player likes to do is there's two different things he can do. He can either do the 1-1 strategy, which is wait for +1 weapon, +1 armor before moving out, or the 100-man march, which is you wait for 100, you hit 100 supply, and then you move out with a large army of vultures and sea shanks. And it looks like Ratan has a pretty small army. He's got a good-sized army of dragoons out in the field, and an okay-sized army of dragoons back at home, and zealots inside those dropships. Vultures coming in and laying down spider mines. AeriALs just needs to be really careful though with the location of the spider mines so they don't get dragged into a siege tank. AeriALs just setting up a good location. Just going to go ahead and siege up right at the front door. And it looks like Ratan just mastered his force a little bit more. A little bit too late though. He should have pushed right when the siege tanks sieged up, or we're starting to siege up. And now the zealots coming in, unspeed upgraded though. And dragoons coming in from the north as well. Unfortunately for AeriALs, I don't think he has enough vultures and not able to prevent those dragoons from just coming in and sniping the siege tanks from behind. And of course, since there's not enough vultures at the front, they can't prevent those units of Ratan from moving in and taking out the siege tanks. So while AeriALs technically has lost that battle, he did hurt a lot of Ratan's production. Ratan's army has pretty much been cut in half. And as a Terran user, trading your whole entire army for a Protoss army is always best. But with the way that AeriALs did it here, losing his whole entire army for most of Ratan's army is okay, because units produce a lot faster in Terran factories. Siege tanks and vultures produce a lot faster than Protoss armies. And not to mention, Ratan just kind of slow on his macro here. He's got the 3 bases, and again, he's only got 7 gateways. And I think it's because, nice job by Ratan here, blocking off that entrance. Looks like those vultures almost tried to get in there, took down a pylon, but ooh, ouch, dragoons getting taken out by spider mines. No observers nearby, and I think I was trying to mention this before. Anyways, getting back to this, good job by Ratan putting the gateway there to block the vultures even further. I was trying to mention earlier, Ratan as a Protoss player, he's only got 2 observers, and they're at AeriALs base. He doesn't even have any vultures with his observers with his main army, and really as a Protoss player, that can be a huge downfall, especially when stuff like this happens. Now you got vultures inside your base, and they're laying mines everywhere, and they're laying mines inside your base, and laying mines in your expansion or random locations on the map, and you need to have at least 2 to 3 observers back home with your army, so you can help spread those observers out. You need to have at least 1 observer on top of the Terran factory, so you know how many units he's producing, how quickly, and then of course you want 1 observer with the Terran army at all times. And then of course, if you can, get another observer inside the Terran base so you can see if you can do any kind of backdoor drops with the shuttles, like Dark Templar or anything like that. But Ratan just sticking with the 2 observers, so very ballsy, but I don't think that's a very wise move. He needs to know exactly what Ratan is doing in all aspects of his base. His observer does see the Terran command center go down at the minute only. Unfortunately, this observer is going to be shot at quite a bit by this missile turret. Will it be taken out? I don't think so. I think it's far enough away to escape the missile barrage of the missile turret, but 1 more hit would have taken the observer out. Small skirmish up here towards the northern part of the map. Ratan using zealots to clear minefields. And really, Ratan does not have enough zealots. I just don't think he has enough gateways. He needs a lot more gateways. He's not even macroing from the gateways that I'm clicking on. He's not macroing very well, and he's taken this 4th base at his mineral only, and I really don't think that's a good idea because, frankly, he's got this 3rd base at 9 o'clock. He's not even using it effectively. His natural expansion, lots of idle probes, not even mining that effectively. And his main base, more idle probes, not even mining that effectively. So taking them in or only is just kind of confusing, considering he's not even using the 3 bases he has effectively. There's no point in taking a 4th base if you're not even using the other 2 bases, your 3 bases effectively as well. Spy mines going off, and vultures coming in, surrounding a bunch of dragoons, and units of Ratan. They just get surrounded by the spider mines taken out. So just poor control by Ratan there, not paying attention to his troops when those vultures ran up, just letting them get taken out. And now in the top left-hand corner, there are a couple of units, Dragoons moving just barely in that nick time into position to block the Switchers from running in, but now Spider-Mine's going off. Going to take out, force those Dragoons back. A lot of those Dragoons are damaged, and the Switchers are going to be able to easily mop up those units there. And so now Ratan forced to reinforce with just a Zealot and 2 Dragoons. And he's not macroing very well. This is all that he's macroed within the past 2 minutes. He's just 4 Dragoons, and he's got a small army out in the middle field, but look at what AeriALs has. He just has this massive force. He's just been constantly building troops non-stop, actually even triple stacking units in his factories. And look at his mineral count, gas count, just super low. So AeriALs just doing a great job. He has a +1 weapon, +1 armor upgrades. Ratan has no upgrades, and he's just not macroing very well. His minerals and gas count is just skyrocketing, almost 800. Almost 1,000 now of each resource, and I just don't know what he's doing. Maybe he just feels like he's lost at this point, but really he needs to start putting down more gateways, and he needs to just start mining effectively from the bases he has, and he just needs to start utilizing this double gas better. Looks like he is finally using that double gas. He needs to get arbiters or carriers going here pretty soon. Carriers aren't super strong on Longinus, but because of the ability to sneak around and go over this high ground and then come around from the edges over the water into Terran bases is very invaluable. Also, it helps arbiters a ton to be able to sneak into Terran bases as well. So an arbiter drop on all these supply depots or even on these factories would work to Ratan's advantage here. AeriALs taking his 4th base, and that means he's probably going to be pushing out pretty soon here. Now you can see him gathering up his siege strength. Usually if a Terran takes a base, it's usually just before a push or just right after one started, and that's to keep the Protoss player, or any player for that matter, his attention focused elsewhere, so that expansion can go up without being harassed.